Hello and welcome to the Paddock Podcast with Adam McCullough, Stephen Howson, Jay Motti and me, Joe Smith. We are live with the Paddock Podcast every single Monday at 4 p.m. on YouTube. The Paddock Podcast title sponsor is Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming. Enjoy this week's show.
Jay here, Stretford Paddock. This is the Paddock Podcast. And joining me are two of my favourite people, Mr. Joe Smith.
Hello.
Out of how many?
Out of everyone in this room, you are two of my favourites.
No, that's it.
That's not bad, that.
That's all right. There's a 50% rate there. And Mr. Stephen Howson as well.
Is anyone through there?
Have we got anyone in there? I don't think we
No.
have. No, it's just us four in here today.
Five.
Hang on a minute. Until I go to uni. I missed that day in class. What have you been up to?
Not a lot.
Right, good. That's enough from you. What we're going to be talking about today,
We're
son?
going to talk about loads. We're going to be talking about transfers, just
Love
general
transfers,
transfers.
mate. Don't you?
You do like them.
Come on,
I know
Steve.
you like them.
Don't
You
act
love
like-
getting excited
right,
about it.
football is rubbish, right?
Yeah.
Transfers are mint.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
Still like
Like,
it.
oh, we've won a game, we've lost a game. Who cares? I want to know who we might be signing. That's what I want to
Do
know.
you know what? No, I like transfers. I hate transfer bollocks.
Oh dear. I like it.
Well, that's this
quite
podcast
angry,
right
isn't
up your street then, because it's actually your fault we're in it. We're going to be talking about transfer bollocks, as you say, some of the silliest rumours, because I saw you quote tweeting something over the weekend that Lewandowski's a target for United.
Yeah, I just put no in.
No, Ian, yeah, which is accurate and succinct. So we're going to be talking about silly season in transfers. We're also going to be talking about, we mentioned this on the brew last night, on Friday night. I won't get your take on it. Everyone's getting giddy because City have bought some kid called Erling Summer. I don't know.
Are they getting giddy because he's like the one human being that
Is
has
he
actually
human
got
though?
a single
Is he
being?
human
That's
though?
the question, isn't it?
All right, I retract that.
Yeah,
He's the one
Organism.
life force
live for.
that has actually had a City shirt when he was younger, right? And they're acting like he grew up supporting them. Did he say he was a Leeds fan?
He's all sorts of
Yeah,
fans.
I mean,
Did he have a City shirt for any other reason except that his dad was being paid probably all right to play for him?
no.
yeah, there is that.
These are the facts that we're completely ignoring so we can make a massive deal out of the fact that they've actually signed a fan for the first time ever.
Are you insinuating that Yaya Toure wasn't a massive blip? Didn't have
Who was it?
pictures
Who was
of
it
David
recently?
Brown
No,
on
it was
his
fucking
wall?
Pep, wasn't it? Pep was like, yeah, I used to, like, it was something, like, it was in like, he said in 1998, I was like watching City games, like, what, when they were in Division 2? No, you weren't.
They weren't even on telly.
Yeah.
How did he watch?
City fans weren't watching City.
No,
You
Pep
getting- you getting
Guardiola.
VHS shipped
Pep
over
Guardiola
to Spain.
used to study the movement of Paul Dickoff.
Did he?
And he was
the bowel
basically
movement.
all about Ensley League Division 2.
Yeah, that was.
Is Ensley even a thing anymore? That's how shit that league was.
He based his goalkeepers playing out from the back on Nicky Weaver.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it. That's
That
where it
is
came
true.
from, innit?
No, that bit is
That's a
true.
fact. So we're talking about that as well. We're also
Cash-a-lash
talking
feeling.
about the fact that Eric Ten Hag's not shy of getting him working, is he? Hey, what, you've got a game on the 30th? Tell you what, you can have one on the 31st as well. Good. He's getting him to work, so we're getting into all that. Make sure you guys are getting
Jay,
involved in the comments as
Throughout
well.
the entire of July, Paddock got a game on Saturday and Sundays.
Love that. How long
and
is
it's
it taking him to make it up?
It's taken
14
him-
seconds,
You're
don't worry
getting
about it.
slow, you.
However,
You're getting slow,
however,
slow in your
my
own
lads
way.
have jobs. These are only playing football.
Yeah, but
That's all they do.
What I would guess.
He always makes right. Doesn't
What I
he
would
make it
guess-
sound like
It's harder
Paddock
for
is
them.
harder.
What I
He
would
does
guess
it all
is
the
that
time.
the
It's
game
harder.
United's playing is a slightly
You got to
higher
go work in a bank,
intensity
then you
than
got to go and play
Paddock
football. That's what do you do? Oh, you got up and played football.
Right. None of your players are bankers.
That's true, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We
they work
all
in a
know
bank
that.
with
You've
a
just
bag
picked a
over the
career now,
shoulder.
or a job that doesn't exist for anyone.
I actually don't know what most of them do.
Yeah, because you don't care.
Yeah, why have
Correct.
you something
Because
better interest
you're
in him?
obsessed
eh?
with the green pictures,
Yeah.
and not what people's
See what I
lives.
mean?
One of them's a pharmacist.
Really?
One's a dentist. I do
He's a
know that.
pharmacist?
There is one that's a dentist. Yeah.
Really?
Rez the dentist. Shout out Rez the dentist.
Yeah.
Does he do your teeth?
Does he do discount?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Dentist cost.
Why would I go to someone who I can drop or not drop to do my teeth?
Well, because then you don't drop them and you get very good
Yeah,
teeth.
Yeah.
for
exactly.
free.
You
But
make them
I
captain
drop
and penalty
everyone.
taker, and then you get nice veneers. So we'll get into all that. Get involved in the comments, and don't forget as well to hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 700,000.
But on a serious note,
subscribers.
though, like, I don't care. Yes, there's more travel involved, but I don't care that they're playing again the same day because it won't be the same players. And even if they played on the in Norway and then they played the next day, they're probably only play 60 minutes most. They'll still do hard training sessions. It's pre-season, man. This is what it's all about. Build the base.
Can we get a list of the fixtures, the pre-season fixtures, up
And
on
honestly,
the screen, please?
It ain't
just so
going
we
to
can
be
go
Ten
through
Hag
them.
that's making them do this.
No.
It's what's known as commercial.
Commercial.
He
you
probably
ins-
doesn't give a shit when we
Yeah.
play or who we play against. I mean, we've got some. I say tough. It's pre-season, but we're not playing against any shit.
Who are we
teams.
playing in Norway?
Atletico?
No way, it's Atletico Madrid.
Oh, the local Norwegian team, yeah.
Yeah.
And who we played at Old Trafford?
It's Real
Vallecano.
Yes.
Oh, the local Stretford-based team. So
Yeah.
That's almost all of them.
So the teams we've got
local Perth-based team, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And local Melbourne-based team, Crystal Palace.
Although we are playing local Melbourne-based team, Melbourne Victory. So we are doing that. But yeah, we've got United. We've got
what
Liverpool.
What the fuck is the name of that stadium in Thailand?
Really?
Rajamangala.
Pretty easy, really, wasn't it? Now you say it.
Mangala.
Yeah, so it's Liverpool, then Melbourne Victory, then Crystal Palace, then
vowel,
Aston
please.
Villa, then Atletico Madrid, and then Real Vallecano. Last up.
That's just stinks of pre-season, that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's just a proper set of pre-season
We used to play Wrexham a lot in pre-season.
Are you going to get carried away?
Manchester United 11 with Preston. No.
got
I saw
carried
Louis
away
van Gaal's Manchester United
This is what I was leading
play
to.
the greatest football that's ever been played. We beat Barcelona in LA, I think, with it was Johnston out the back to Tyler Blackett to Januzaj to Lingard, and it's a goal, and you're like, fuck me, are we just amazing at football? 2 weeks later, keep drawing with Swansea or something.
Yeah. Well, we lost to Swansea. You're right. I remember me and my mate were chatting, and we looked at the fixtures after those games, and we had 7 very easy games, and we said we were putting a bet
21
on.
points.
Yeah. Should we put money on us to win all those games? And we said yeah, and we did. Not only did we lose the first one, we lost 4 of the first 7.
LA Galaxy, that game, was it 7-1?
games to get 10 points.
Was it LA Galaxy? 7-1?
Yeah.
Absolute dicks out.
It was just like you say, we're beating everyone, even good teams, beating the Scouts as well, didn't
Do you want to
we?
know the truth? If we beat Liverpool and we beat Palace and then Villa and then Atletico, I'll think we're going to win.
I will think that.
Not the league. I'll be like,
No, I
we should
will.
be challenging for the Europa.
If we beat Liverpool and lose the rest, I'll still think we've got a
Can you
chance.
remember our last pre-season?
Yeah, we were
Can
there.
you remember the football, though?
No. Yeah, I do. We beat Leeds. What was it, 4-1?
Describe it
Oh, Everton. We beat Everton.
I remember Rashford looked sharp as fucking pre-season that year. That's all I remember.
What about last season? We beat Everton, didn't we? Because remember Benitez was there.
Did we?
Yeah. And we drew with Brentford or something like to that. You was there, weren't you, baggers to that one, the Brentford game? Missed the goal. Yeah, me and him chatting because we've not seen each other for ages. So yeah.
Care about the football.
Yeah, it's like
But do you think we're going to get to see any new transfers on that 12th of July? Do you think there's any chance
is
of
it?
that?
I think
it's
you
1
probably
month
will do.
away.
You probably will do.
You think?
Yeah, I think they're
I
going to sign
think-
someone next week when I'm away.
Why are you away?
Because I'm allowed.
Are you though?
Are you on holiday? Oh yeah. Where are you going?
Really?
I say surfing,
Surfing.
but I'm not.
Surfing the web.
You
at
watch
home.
people surfing
Yeah.
or just sat near the beach.
It's on a beach with a can of Heineken.
Yeah, it's not.
Surfing.
Yeah,
Imagine.
surfing.
Steve in a wetsuit.
These surfing videos. Check that out.
love
That's
that.
a new section on
Not
Steve
last
Nelson
time we
TV.
went, time before we went. Because I did a week there in the army and surfed.
Where?
And learnt to Newquay.
Oh, he didn't say that.
Oh, sorry, Cornwall.
Nice.
and actually learnt to surf. Like, because normally when you do adventure training in the army or adventure drinking, as it's occasionally known, you and you say we though, but that's an activity.
We're still bants though, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did mountain biking once with a bottle of aftershock in an ammo pouch, just fucking nailing it and going down on mountain bikes. Made it fun. Anyway,
bet it
most
did.
adventure training is garbage, and it's like shit you do when you're 12, canoeing, rock climbing.
Yeah.
And you're like, we've been to
Orienteering.
war. This is shit.
Hey.
Yeah.
So we had a new commanding officer who was like, listen, that's shit. We're not going to do it. What we are going to do is we're going to go to Newquay, have a bit of a lad's holiday. And if you want to just get smashed and sleep your hangover off on a beach, that's an activity. And if you want to learn to surf, that's an activity. If you want to go fishing, that's an activity. It was mint. It was class. So we went and did that. And then
Was the officer like Charlie Sheen, by any chance? Who was this officer?
it sounded well
You
sound.
just want to get shit-faced and then wake up.
That's what it's there. It's there for like bonding and
Taxpayers'
stuff.
money.
Yeah, covered in mermaid.
Happy days. So we had a good old time down there.
Yeah.
Played my first ever and only ever round of golf. Well, I say only. I beat you.
Didn't
once.
you two play golf once?
Yeah.
Played one hole.
I'm
for
the
charity.
champion.
I say
Did
charity.
you beat him?
Stick.
I did beat
I
him.
thought you were alright at golf.
I am, yeah.
I'm shocking, but I beat him.
Steve's just
Right.
Big game nerves in it, Jay.
Ah,
That's what it's all
okay.
about. So we did whatever, and I sort of family back, and I was like, "You lot go and do a lesson, like Janine and Jay. You two do a lesson." Fucking know what I'm doing here, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck me, did I nearly drown?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got hit square in the back by a wave, which opened my wetsuit and then filled it up. and drag me down.
What? This feels like the scene Moana. What do you mean? It opened your wetsuit.
Yeah, it fucking hit me square on the zip, and the zip went fuck off.
By the ocean.
Hello, yeah. What's going on?
And then
here?
I'm waving at Janine. I'm like, I need help. I'm fucking going down here, and she's just waving back.
I love that.
And the thing is, she knew. Fucking finally. Right. Go on. One more wave. That'll be him.
Did we do the life insurance? Yes, we did.
Absolute.
Layers.
As well, the fucking hire place where you hire the surfboards is an absolute hike to the
Why?
beach.
So
That's
were you just like waterlogged to fuck?
It was like big elephant legs in my wetsuit. It just filled up.
That's been like that. Hey,
That would
seriously.
be so funny.
Joe, I couldn't move. I couldn't walk.
That's funny though. I don't want you to drown, obviously, but I wish I'd have seen that. I really wish.
And when
I'd
I
have
eventually
seen
got to the beach and like undid my ankle cuff and like 3/4 of the ocean fell out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers for your help. It's only fucking drowning.
It's bad that though, isn't it? I remember my mate fell off a pedalo once, chasing money that it was blown away, and he couldn't
So
swim.
why are you chasing money that was blown?
He put it on the top of the pedalo like he's an idiot. No, he put it on the top of the pedalo because he's an idiot.
Chasing
And it blew
money
away,
that's blown away.
and he jumps in, and then he can't swim,
Cartoon.
and he was drowning. Like, help me! And we were laughing that much.
This is a cartoon, Jay.
And
Who
the boat-
jumps into a body of water when they can't swim?
But we couldn't help him because we were laughing too much.
Right.
And this boat went past, and he was like shouting, "Help me!" to them, and we were just laughing even more. Eventually, he was all right though. You know what I mean? He managed to sort of scramble his way.
He was. I say he was all right. He was put
He
out
had a
of his
lovely
misery.
send-off.
Fucking hell.
We wanted to talk about transfer rumours, silly ones. You mentioned, or I mentioned Lewandowski because you did that quote tweet. We've seen a few doing the rounds. Richarlison, Danny Ings. Danny Ings was one I flagged up. Me and you were chatting earlier, and I went, "That's a load of nonsense, Danny Ings. Why do we have this every year?" And you went, "Actually, Jay,
I'm pretty sure there was something in it last year.
you always ruin the party, don't you, with your actual, information."
It
Based on
wasn't,
what?
it wasn't that much in it. Someone told me like there's actually something in this because of how much he's going for, which is always a possible in it.
thing,
Like, you'd always get a player if they. I mean, like, how much is it? Free.
Gallo, yeah. We didn't get a Gallo because he was our target, didn't we? We got him because he was announced. And then his huge wage bill. I mean, some of them though. Richarlison's another one I've seen doing the rounds.
Richarlison, I saw him around Christmas when Everton were losing every week. People saying he shouldn't have been playing for Everton. He's a disgrace. He's awful. He's just a diver. People saying he was worth 50 million last year. He's worth 10 million now.
Yeah, but
then he has 6 good games at the end of the season.
And he held a flare.
Yeah, and now he's worth 50 million
I
quid
don't
again.
think he's changed at all since he was at Watford.
No.
I think he's identical in terms of his ability, his effectiveness at Everton now as he was at Watford. I think he scored 5 goals in last season at Watford. He's got, 12 at Everton, playing in a team that was struggling, but he's getting more of the ball. And also, the whole, he plays for Brazil thing, I think that's become beyond meaningless. Really, isn't it? Brazil's not, this isn't 1994 Brazil, where you've got like Romario and Bebeto and Ronaldo on the bench. This is like, if you have 3 good games at a decent level, you're probably going to get in the Brazil squad.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Neymar, Gabriel Jesus play every week.
Probably.
Fred plays every week.
Yeah. Even Pereira's got a cap, hasn't he? I know. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean it's funny, but
He's being a bit funny.
I know, but he's not exactly at the level that you'd expect.
Oh, really?
A Brazilian midfielder to be.
Wait till he turns out against Rayo via fucking Cano.
Do you reckon we're going to see the pre-season Pirlo?
I would put my life on it.
Because this is something else I want to talk about. We'll get to that in a bit about other players getting a clean slate. Clean slate, I should say. With these transfer rooms, though, the weird thing is, right, sometimes you get the odd one that sounds ridiculous, Robin Van Persie, and ends up being true.
Was it ridiculous at the time, though? Because
Robin Van
I
Persie,
remember
yeah.
just being excited.
When I first heard that rumour...
Arsenal sell players.
Yeah, they do. That's a good point. But when I first heard that rumour, I thought that is just, even by Arsenal standards, to sell him to us, Wenger to Fergie, not a chance.
I thought no chance.
Not a chance, man. I remember I tweeted Dave McDonnell about it, or tweeted about his story. I was like, there's no way this happens.
Well, you know I broke it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know you're ruining this? 'Cause I always thought Dave McDonnell broke it, did you?
No, we broke it. Yeah, we broke it on MUFC latest. There were blog that we used to have.
How?
I might as well tell you now because I don't work there no more. We used to have a mate that worked, me and Ben that I used to do a podcast with, we used to have a mate that worked at a Bridgewater hospital. Now, prior to them doing...
Now, this is what we call patient-doctor confidentiality.
Yes.
Correct. So I
Go
don't
on.
think he's getting sacked. I don't think he works there.
Great.
I like the word think. Let's take
he
a
might.
risk.
Let's
sure
just don't say his name.
Yeah.
Fine. So my mate used to work, at the Bridgewater Hospital. He used to take the blood. He did the blood work for new signings.
So illegal.
Yeah, But is it?
This is like the Pogba guy, innit? Do you remember him? Yeah. He got sacked for taking a picture of Pogba's blood test.
Yeah. So there was loads of people that were booked in for different medicals, and he gets booked in, and he rings up and he goes, "United have just booked Robin van Persie in for a medical." I was like, "Fuck off!" After he was like 100 mile an hour true story, and there was someone City had signed that summer as well that had just been booked in. He was like, "No one cares." It was like they've just booked him in though, like. And I was like, "For when?" And he's like, "It's an open booking, so they could just bring him, and then we have to do it." And I was like, "That's wild." So we did. I think we did exclusive. Robin van Persie booked in for Manchester United medical. There's no rumours of a fee being agreed. There is rumours that we're interested in, but blah, blah, blah. Did like 1 million or something views on our website at the time, which at the time I think was like 2-month-old. Our website.
Amazing that. So you're not on news now or anything like that?
Nothing. It wasn't at the time, no. And then got abused in the comments. This is just fucking made up. This is lies. This is blah, blah, blah. He's literally in Germany in training camp or something like that at the time. And we was like, well, it's info. I think it was about 6 or 7 weeks later. He actually signed him.
That's mad, that.
It took a long ass time for it to come. But then from then, the rumours did start getting a bit hot about it.
I always remember David Dolan.
So it was out of the blue that it happened for me. So I never really got a chance to be like, not fucking happening.
Well, that's fair enough, because I remember seeing that rumour. I think it was in the Mirror as the first place I saw it, and this was quite early, and I thought there's no way, because Arsenal were falling by the wayside. He was their star player. He was, his selling value wasn't that great to them. Like, they weren't going to get 80 million for him because he was 28, wasn't he, or almost 29 or whatever.
And
he was.
yeah, that just never played 30 games in his life.
Yeah, I just thought it doesn't make any sense, and I couldn't see Wenger selling him to Fergie. I know them two had become mates, but I just thought that ain't going to happen. I still can't believe it did in a way. Because that is literally what gave us title
It's
number
so
20.
stupid that.
And what did Wenger get out of it? 27 mil or something?
24, wasn't
24?
It wasn't even that much.
What are you doing with that?
Nothing. Well, getting
You know
sacked.
what I mean? Yeah.
Getting sacked 2
At least
years
if you
later.
keep Van Persie, you've got a small chance of winning a title.
Yeah.
Without him, you've got none. Do you know what I mean? That is proper, we have given up in it. That's almost like money ball in it.
The Ronaldo to City stuff last year, which sounds ridiculous, I don't think it was.
No, I think that's a good point. That's another one. That's the one where you go, suppose that last season when it was like, oh, Ronaldo could end up here. No. I thought we would go to City. I mean, you did the late night, the Paddock Live, didn't we?
Yeah.
We both resigned to the fact he's going to go to them. They've got money. They want him. And it kind of makes sense.
Rio goes, do some graphics for Ronaldo signing for City. I was like, fuck off, Rio.
That was the worst was when you went radio silent the next day. Honestly, I've never rang you and messaged you as much as I've messaged anyone in my life. Because you did a little thing when you went, lads.
When he goes,
yeah, go on,
do some graphics for Ronaldo to United.
This is on the Friday, innit?
And I went, don't fucking do this to me, man. And then things happen, which I'm not going to disclose, but then obviously
there was one message you put in that gave me hope. It was literally like, I've been asked to do this, or we're doing this video, or we've got to make a graphic for this video. And I'm like, what? And then there was nothing from you for hours. And then Rio had done that Django Unchained thing. So I'm beginning to think there's something going on here. So I'm ringing you.
When I got told about 2 or 3 hours before United put it public, and all it was I got a phone call and like, what the fuck is going on? Please tell me what the fuck is going on. And he's like, he's having a medical. And I'm like, my answer was, for who though? Because it was still so unclear at the time. And he was like, United. And I watched the CCTV because I was sitting in Joe's chair upstairs. I just fucking jumped up like.
I bet I've seen it, haven't we? I think because it was mad because that went so quickly because you had that, you put that thing in the group. And then
it was Charlie and Lescott saying, "I'll come. Let's fucking watch his unveiling together." And I was like, "Yeah, let's."
Yeah, that was that. That was it. That was the thing.
Started to turn against all the City people.
What the fuck?
Happening?
And then Pep had that presser, didn't he? Where he just killed it. He just went, he ain't coming here or whatever. And that was it. There's only United left. And then Ollie said something which was like, he might end up coming here. Smirking.
How good was that?
And then we were sat here on the brew.
I don't like milking them like for 2.5 years like Sancho. But can we get a day?
I know, a day. Because it was literally like, United tweeted it.
Yeah,
like
the same day.
2 hours after your
Friday.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like that.
No.
It was so quick. And for the biggest transfer we've probably done in years, to actually just get it done And then to get
that
it
was a bit of
public.
prep time, lads.
I know.
We've got a super chat here that says United should sign Danny Ings. I don't care if he's any good at football purely because of his name. That is from Danny Inns.
I like that.
Interesting. That'd be good, wouldn't it? I'd love to play with my name. Playing for.
Would you?
Isn't it weird that my name's so common and yet there's no professional footballers with my name? There's not even many Smiths.
Joe Smith.
Yeah.
Because there's been a Smith.
Yeah, of course there's been.
Did you have Alan
Smiths.
Smith's shirt?
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
Did you not?
No.
Loser.
I never had names on the back of my shirt, really.
Really? No, not
But
really.
also, there's not that many
Well,
Smiths
I've had one.
to say how common it is. Hang on a sec. How come these two have got a drink and I haven't? Yes, please. Thank you.
He was lingering to ask you.
That's nice of him. He's already got one.
Cancel's the only one I've had.
Really? I had.
Famously, the shirt that he was signed on the pitch with, and my mum sewn a black number 7 on it.
Hey, that's like you using the football that was used in the 1992.
We lost, Jay.
Well, 1991 League Cup final.
Jay, we lost. Fuck that ball.
Fair enough.
You had Hippier on the back of yours, didn't you, before you started being a United fan.
Sammy Hippier, yeah, one of the
Big Sammy Hippier.
Sometimes players are that good. You don't care that you play for your rivals.
Yeah, the United shirt with Hippier 5 on the back. Imagine. I love it when people have their first names on the back.
What?
I love it when people have their first names on the back. But sometimes you think, okay, it makes sense. If you call like Jay or Joe, it's shorter, so your mum and dad didn't want to give you a £5 a letter or whatever it is, £3 a letter. But sometimes people have stuff like Alexander on the back. And you're like, what's your surname, Alexander? No, my name's Alexander Thompson. You're like, what? I never liked it when people have their first name.
Are you a fan of footballers having their first name on the back? Like
well, I don't know.
Memphis and Jordi Cruyff?
I don't know, because I don't really know why they do it.
I think
it's
sometimes
quite common in like Brazilian
not
thing,
too
though, isn't
enamoured
it?
of their dads. Sometimes.
Brazil's because they've got like 5 names though.
Yeah. Sometimes
So they're
it's
just known by.
like with Cruyff, he didn't want to have Cruyff on the back, so he had Jordi.
Because it was too much pressure.
I think so.
But then took number 14.
Yeah, which kind of makes you think of his dad.
And continued being Johan Cruyff's son.
And also perform like Johan Cruyff in pre-season and in the summer, and then when it got cold, performed like
shit.
He
was good for a minute. He was like, "Oh my fucking god,
he's
look how
actually
good he is."
better than his dad.
I actually think Cruyff, Johan, might have been a United fan. Obviously, I've read everything that there is to read about him, and he fucking loves. Like when he went to Barcelona, he only went to Barcelona because they were going to offer him some outrageous wages, but he'd have got those wages if he went anywhere. But there was a ban on signing foreign players until I think 78, which obviously he went in 73 or 74, something along those lines, to Barcelona. So that was the only reason he went to Barcelona. But he seems to make a bit of a deal about the Premier League, and then he's kind of like, when Jordi signed for Manchester United, he kind of fulfilled one of my dreams, and you're kind of like, was he a United fan? And then he's so complimentary about Sir Alex, he's so complimentary about the club, and he talks about how great a club it was, and even though it didn't work out for him here, he was grateful for Sir Alex and the club for giving Jordi an opportunity, and like what an opportunity it was for Jordi to play for a great club like United. And you think he's never, that I've read, gone out and gone, I'm a United fan. Yeah. But he's fucking acting like one.
Well, you think it would kind of make sense because United have always been one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's obviously, the 1990 World Cup, and this cup, me and you've gone about it constantly. He was the manager for Barcelona, so he saw the beginning of United's sort of period of dominance. Like you say, his son came to United and obviously was looked after. But those sort of early Champions League days when we played Barcelona, I think in 93, 94, which, forget the one at the Nou Camp, that don't count.
That should have been on before the watershed, that.
No. But the 2-2 at Old Trafford, it was like one of the best atmospheres I've heard in a long time. And it was like, because the Champions League was quite
Was that the Hughes one?
Lee Sharp back heel.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it Hughes in the Nou Camp?
Hughes was the 91 Cup final.
Oh, who was it who got 2 goals?
Hughes got 2 goals in the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup final.
Maybe
but in the Champions League, I think we drew
like Irwin and Sharp or something scored.
Yeah, I just remember Sharp scored, I think, an equaliser with the back heel. But Barcelona fans were crazy. Do you remember, where the big mural is near Old Trafford? Like, near the ground, where they paint the big massive mural. It's like an advertising thing where they put all different adverts on there. Near where the chain is, the chain that goes up into the sky.
Oh, you mean Victoria Warehouse?
Yeah, sorry, Victoria Warehouse, next to that. Sorry, I don't know why I described it in the worst way possible. But I remember one of the Barcelona fans painted a massive painting of Romario holding the World Cup, and all the World Cup was like little gold discs. Like, it was like they were just crazy, because this was all new, the Champions League, and seeing these great teams in Europe that you'd never seen before. It was just magical, and you felt like Barcelona were of that similar level of United. Do you know what I mean? Not had loads of success in Europe. I think they'd won it once, and we'd won it once as well at the time. But in terms of fan base, one of the biggest supported clubs in the world, great players, great traditions and history, especially with the academy. So that would have fitted in with that, what you're saying, of Cruyff being sort of on board with it, liking United because of the sort of the familiarities and the similarities, in the connection.
Abhinav Verma with Super Chat says, Arsenal would justify the Van Persie sale, to just quick go back to that, saying that 22 million is overpaying for a 29-year-old.
Yeah, I agree, totally.
Exactly.
And they were right, and they were justified, and we were left with egg on our face.
We were. Philip Lopez says, what the hell are United doing? Are we going to get any transfers in? Can we talk about this a little bit?
Of course we can.
Because I've got two things to say on this. First of all, the transfer window opened 3 days ago. Like, we're not dawdling that much. We just, it just so happens that City and Liverpool have already got big names in, so it makes us look worse. But generally speaking, if you haven't got a deal done in the first 3 or 4 days, it's not a disaster.
Can I just say as well, all of the crying over this, who's got deals done? City and Liverpool.
Yeah.
How long have those managers been in place?
Yeah, 6 years.
So it's safe to say that they're working to a longer term plan than the fellow who arrived a fortnight ago.
Yeah.
They would have identified targets probably around Christmas, made first contact in January or February or latest in March, and got them over the line last week.
That Haaland deal could have been in the works for 2 years because everyone's known when his buyout clause was going to be activated. Yeah. They've been, buttering him up for months.
It also helps when if you're, like you say, you're Pep or Klopp or whatever, and you're looking at your squad and your team and you're going, I need maybe 1 or 2 adjustments or additions. Yeah. If you're a new manager coming into a team that could feasibly do with 10 new players.
What do you mean you've got no fucking engine?
Yeah,
and also,
it's not that easy, is it?
But another point that I don't see anyone making, and obviously I can understand that getting players in early, giving them a full pre-season, gives them the best setup, the best possibility to be hitting the ground running at the start of the season. I get that. But do we have any definitive correlation between how early a player was signed and how successful they go on to be? Is it even provedly any better to get a player in the first week than the second or third or fifth week of the transfer window?
It's probably better than in the last day. I mean,
no, of course, I get that.
It was like the night before we played Everton.
Berbatov was the last second of the window. Berbatov, we literally signed him after the window closed.
And what a legend.
Exactly, and Fellaini the same thing. But I'm not saying
no.
I would prefer to sign players late on. But just because you haven't signed any in the first 3 days doesn't make it a failure of a window.
No, you're right. We were talking, weren't we, about 2011, where we just won the league. We signed De Gea, Jones and Young very quickly in the transfer window. And it's like, done our business quick, happy days. We didn't win anything that season. No. Well, I think we might win the League Cup, sorry. We didn't win the league. It didn't make a difference that we got all our business done early. It was like we didn't get the players that we needed. We didn't get Snyder, who was the one we needed.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Exactly.
I'm sorry to give you that news.
Getting the right
Never
player
he might sign this summer, though.
Is more important than getting a player earlier.
See how fat he is?
No,
he got fat
really?
quick as well.
Really,
he got fat Wayne Rooney style.
I'm a big fan of that.
I think he got fat quicker than Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, I do.
I think Wayne Rooney's kept a little bit of the timber off by having to run around the pitch occasionally at Derby. I think Schneider's just gone straight to the kebab shop.
That's it. Bless it.
Stayed
Why not?
there.
Moved in.
Do you know one of them where you see him in the stadium?
You see Nasri, right? He's on Nasri.
Yeah.
No. He would be the midway point for where Schneider's.
But his shirt's a bit. You can see like the gaps in his shirt where the buttons are holding on because he's still got his thin boy shirts because he's not had a chance to buy new shirts yet. That's how quick he got fat.
It was that quick.
Yeah, it was stunningly quick.
It was like someone bet me couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like
you can't put 4 stone on. You went full Steve Bruce in a summer.
He went Christian Bale preparing for a role. That's what it was. It was literally drinking pure fat milkshakes. Beautiful stuff.
Wesley, you
know like Dick Cheney.
Yeah. Do you know what? Touch of a fucking angel though.
Oh, what a player.
Yeah. No, right now still.
Yeah.
Out of breath going 5 foot, but you hit it 60 yard in the sky, he'll bring that down.
So good. Should have won the Ballon d'Or at 2010, I reckon.
So annoying winning game. So annoying, isn't it? It's just like would have made such a difference. And you look at how close we were without him. You throw him into that team.
That was the summer of like Twitter really starting to pop, wasn't it, with nonsense, and that was people like just seen him in spar on Earlham in Earlham.
Yeah, really.
People are like, well, it's on the internet. Why would it be a lie?
Yeah, no, you've not.
Yeah, before people realise you
spar in Earlham shut now. You're lying.
It's 24/7 since last month.
Yeah,
I remember those. All right, shit, it might be
sarcasm.
He was just in a post office queue behind Robert De Niro.
Mr. Robert De Niro. Anyway, gentlemen,
what's up with you?
Father's Day is just around the corner, and our friends and title sponsors at Manscaped trademarks are here to ensure all the father figures out there, and we are all father figures, aren't we? We've all got our father figures, and we are father figures, aren't we? Are looking like daddy material this June.
Love
yeah.
that.
So thanks to Manscaped. Why is he wandering around here?
Also, why was he crouching?
Why were you crouching?
Sorry,
then?
someone was walking behind the camera then, crouching as though he needs to crouch underneath something.
Is there an helicopter in here? Or
He's
what?
just behind the camera.
Absolute specimen.
Manscaped.
Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, which includes the signature Lawnmower 4.0. We love that, don't we? We tried a 2.0 and a 3.0. Forget that. It's 4.0.
And the thing is, Jay, they were good. This is even better.
This is even better. And it is the perfect bundle to tackle any and all old man hair from head to toe. This right here is no dad joke, yeah? Treat him and yourself and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With this exclusive offer, you get 20% off free shipping using the code DEVILS20 at manscaped.com.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I genuinely got a compliment on the state of my nitty gritty
Did you?
recently after using Manscaped, and that is genuinely true. It felt great.
Was this from one of the passengers on the bus?
It was the driver, actually, Jay, the most important person on the bus.
Did he say, whoa, look at that.
Yeah,
you are setting some examples here, sunshine. Do you want to come and sit up front with me?
Do you know you get those bus wheels where it's got like the handle on like that?
Yeah.
I was that handle for a while. It was great.
Exactly. That's thanks to Manscaped. Because we've all been there, haven't we? Where we've had all these dramas with the little cuts and nicks and all that. But with the anti-nick technology,
How is your anti-nick?
Alex, she's
You're
good,
right.
man. She's on
Good.
tablets. Then you're not going to get any of that. So don't forget as well, with the performance package, you get the Lawnmower 4.0, you get the trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver, the Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold
What do
your
you have
goodies.
to do to get it?
You have to use the code DEVILS20 at manscaped.com. Links in the description. You get 20% off. And what I love about all this on the actual Manscaped gadget,
Don't.
what's my favourite?
Don't.
What is my favourite part of it?
The
You know this.
multifunction on-off switch.
Got it in one. I love that. I am so sick of these one function either on or off.
My favourite thing is
This has got multifunction.
I got a soap dish at home and I lay my testicles in it like a tray. And I've just got the ball reviver, ball toner in there because I want my spuds to look like Jay's head by the end of the month. And if they don't, I'm kicking off.
Yeah, you do a sort of dip and soak method, don't you?
Yeah, for about 2.5 hours a night.
Yeah.
Just leave them in the tray.
No wrinkles on that thing whatsoever.
Nope.
Fantastic. Make sure you use code DEVILS20 at checkout for 20% off and
We need
free
to do a
shipping.
comparison, don't we, actually? Your balls and my head.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
As long as you age gate it, I think it's fine. What do you prefer, your head or Steve's ball?
Both.
Good.
What's moister?
What's smarter?
Big thanks to Manscaped, as always. Right, I want to talk about something that I'm a firm believer in, and it's a good job. Giving people another chance, right?
Right.
Clean slate, yeah? Clean slate FC. We are becoming a little bit of that, according to rumours,
Mate,
because
Phil Jones is still here.
yes, I'm hearing this, Stephen. I'm hearing Anthony Martial has got a pre-season to prove himself to Eric Ten Hag.
Pilistri.
Yeah, it was about 4
Diallo,
years.
Yeah,
it was
it
about
does
4 years
Martial.
ago with pre-season.
I
Where he had to
know.
prove himself.
Herrera.
Yeah, it
Van de
seems
Beek.
like everyone has got this clean slate again. And it's like, how have we ended up in the situation we've been in pretty much every year for the last 5?
Fuck's sake.
And
I'm tired,
I'm
Jay.
hearing it too often for me to dismiss it. I think we are going to end up.
Jay, let's just note it right. These are fucking very, 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 very highly paid professionals that are not good enough.
I don't disagree with you at all. But are we going to be in a position where we go and play Liverpool in Thailand and Pereira plays well and Martial scores and Eric Ten Hag, who's not seen him in the flesh in a competitive match before, goes, look all right, them too.
Surely just the fact that you go, Tony Marshall, did he go on loan to Sevilla? Yeah, what happened? They fucked him off because he was shit. Yeah.
Do you know
Left wing?
what worries me, though? Is if you're looking at it in numbers over last season, if you go, right, Tony Marshall, what did he do? Got 1 Premier League goal, 1 goal in the Europa. Awful. Okay, who else we got? Anthony Langer, how did he do? Did a bit better. Didn't score for his last 14 games. All right, okay. Marcus Rashford, I love Marcus. How did he get on? Didn't score for his last 15 games. All right, Jadon Sancho is a great signing. How did he get on? Didn't score for his last 14 games as well. Jesus wept. Like, how are you differentiating between the poor season that Anthony Martial's had and the poor season that everyone else has had? And now, listen, before anyone jumps on me in the comments, I get Elanga's only a kid. I'm not expecting much more from him. But we have to
He's
look.
been training with RH. You see that yesterday?
Yeah, good stuff. That love RH. We'll get him on again soon.
And that is what I like to see. Pre-season's not started yet. Where's Tony Elanga? He's down at Avro, FYI.
There you go.
With RH, just fucking
Pat's loving that one.
Just top bins with the lock the gates anyway. You can't get in. You can pay. You can do that over the fence.
And we do it regularly.
Anthony's out there putting the fucking work in.
No, I know that's what I mean. I'm not having a dig at the kid because he's obviously very young. He only turned
Might
20.
even go down and watch actually, not film anything. Just go down and see how he's getting on.
But like my point is, if you're 8 and I just looking at this, are you necessarily going to go, well, Martial, forget him, but Marcus or Jaden or
But then should he?
much better?
Should he do that? Should he go, Martial is definitely worse than
that's a good
Rashford,
question.
or is definitely Pereira is definitely worse than McTominay? Like, shouldn't he work it out for himself?
That is a fair
Because what works in
point.
X system doesn't necessarily work in Y system. And whilst he's got these players, obviously you've got to move pretty quickly, understanding who you want to let go and who you want to keep, because otherwise you're going to have a 26-man squad at the end of the transfer window. But if you can work that out in the first 3 or 4 weeks, surely that's what he should be doing.
I just find it so, and you can help me out on this one.
Or should it be above him? Should Murtaugh
Like,
and that lot have
it
already
seems
sorted this?
so odd to me.
You copy and paste your argument you just said there and put Phil Jones into it.
But that's different. That's
It's-
been
no, it's not. That's
It
what
is
I'm
because
saying.
that's been 7 years.
Yeah,
Not-
and I
not
think
one or two.
Martial can go 2 seasons ago. I
played
scored
twice last year.
23 goals in a season. Marcus can say I had back-to-back 20-goal seasons.
Yeah.
Andy Lang can say I was 19
Yeah.
3 months ago.
Yeah,
Jaden
Phil
Sancho
Jones
can say I was the most productive player in Europe for 2
Yeah.
seasons.
Phil Jones could say I was almost as good as Chris Smalling 5 years ago.
Yeah,
It's not the same.
I'm also the greatest player to come through the club, apparently.
Listen, Sir Alex Ferguson's allowed to say certain things when he
said he
may or
could
may
be.
not have had a few red wines. One thing I do want to ask you though, is it not a little bit strange that the handover from one United manager to the next has sort of been an hour-long phone call, if that?
All right, well, the handover from one United to the other is usually non-existent. So
Yeah,
I
but
think it's better than nothing.
with the process we supposedly
But
put in
most
place.
clubs don't do that.
No, but we put in place for this whole all singing, all dancing transition.
I don't know what the
Jay,
handover
I
between
think it went
Pellegrini and
tits up,
Pep
though,
was
let's
like.
be honest. It went tits up, though, let's be honest. Didn't
Yeah,
it?
but Pellegrini wasn't brought in with the view to being a
Maybe he didn't need more than an hour. Maybe you're thinking an hour's long enough. And he was just like, Phil Jones, shit.
Yeah. I mean,
Eric Bailly,
maybe he
never
doesn't,
saw him.
but
Mad
then-
when he came in.
But then
Funny
again,
though.
that goes back to the other argument then. Maybe everyone has got a clean slate then, because if you're not listening to Ralph Ragnick, which, he's probably not done a great deal if you've only spoke briefly, then how are you making judgments off? Are you going off the numbers? Are you trying to watch all these games?
Well,
Which
presumably
seems a
that's
lot.
where people like Darren Fletcher come in.
Yeah.
This is where Darren Fletcher has
Also,
to be,
let's be
worth
honest.
his money.
You telling me Ten Hag didn't just suddenly start watching United games in depth towards the back end of the season? Because I guarantee he did.
Definitely.
But if he did though, then
you know when you
that
wa-
might be another reason why quite a few have got a clean slate. 'Cause he must have watched them and gone, they can't be this bad. They can, like you watching Brighton, the Brighton game, the Palace game, the Liverpool game. You must be thinking, there's no way this team
It's so funny.
is this
that
bad.
Week one, this is the best documentary ever. If you could just somehow get in there and just watch Ten Hag,
I'd love
like, oh, fuck me. Can we do a lap then?
Yeah. Like his wife's like, he hasn't left the bedroom in 8 weeks. He's
Right, we're going to
so
start with a
upset.
very,
Yeah.
very basic passing drill. We do this for the under sixes at Ajax. All right, foot that off. Right, what
Under 5. This one.
we're going to do,
Yeah.
this is a corner flag.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the net.
Yeah, that's not working. Write your name on the form. It's a
Can someone write your name on the form?
Yeah.
Velcro boots. Do we have any of those? I think. Do you know when United sign a player? I'm always like Frankie De Jong highlights. Enter. Start there. Go do all the stats. Ten Hag is meant to be the most meticulous, well-organized, planned man of all time. He's been watching like long-form highlights, in-depth footage. You know that like top-down camera that I don't even know how they film because there's no camera above, but they somehow got it.
Steve's
He's been
probably got
watching
that.
that for the last I bet 2 seasons of United. I bet he's been looking at so much Solskjaer stuff, so much Rangnick stuff. He'll know loads about all these players already. Be getting dossiers on his desk.
I get that.
Like,
'Cause he did didn't he have to do a presentation for his interview and analysis? So he's not going to go, oh yeah, I've looked at Wikipedia and it says that Andy Martial scored a load of goals the other season.
do you think there's a clip
whatever.
art for a
He's got to
footballer on
have
that presentation?
Yeah.
And it just comes in from the side, like normal, and then like pop art all the things like Man U, like that, in the text.
they're on Instagram.
And it goes back down. Imagine.
So yeah, you're right. I just worry, not worry, but I just wonder how much of it is going to be. Let's have a look at you. Let's just have a look at all of you. Do you know what I mean? Because there could be some argument that is what he approaches it.
Maybe week 1, day 1 is like, you're all doing a pissing bleep test, and then we're going to do some basic skill stuff, and then we'll probably just play a couple of 9v9s and then get off home early.
They do play a lot of games as well, don't they? Like behind closed doors.
Got Tekken and that.
Yeah. Like that you don't hear a lot about, but you know they do go on, don't they? Where they'll have like
I would say
Bolton or whoever will come down for a game.
Most days there will be a match.
Yeah.
Most training days there will be a match, whether it's an external opposition on the 23s or 11v11 within what you've got. Most days there'll be a match. There'll be your little technical things. There'll be obviously very, very scientifically fucking boring ass warm ups. There'll probably be lectures and sort of classroom sessions. But I would say you're looking at 25, 30 minutes on a daily basis where there will be some kind of 11v11 or 9v9 at least. And
Kinda
that's where
sense.
you're finding out a lot of the stuff that goes on. Yeah, they'll always make drills. So you might be doing finishing on this one, you might be doing playing through the third, you might be doing this and that and the other, but they'll piece it together every day, I would think. Every day. And I imagine probably the current starting 11 and who the fuck wants to be in it as the first opposition.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be anyone that comes back in from that lot? So like Martial, Jones, Bailly, Axel,
Donny's the
Pereira,
obvious
Shaw,
one.
Tellers.
You've done a Donny video, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a Donny van der Beek video coming out tonight, how he can sort of get back into the team, how he could work under Ten Hag, how he did at Ajax, looking into a lot of detail on that. But
Looking forward to that
he
one.
is probably the only one of that list that I genuinely think has got a chance.
And like you said, you know, he's the only one as well that Eric Ten Hag's not coming in and just having information that he's been given. He knows that player.
Yeah.
He's worked with
There'll
him.
be so many times where he's like, Donny, you remember we did this at Ajax?
Yeah.
That's going to be a phrase everyone's bored of
Everyone's
by
going to
day one.
hate Donny, aren't they?
Yeah.
Teacher's little pet.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, you're getting a lift home with them? Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
But like, do you know how most managers bring in at least one player from a former club, don't they? Typically, you see that. He's got one built in already.
Yeah.
Even before the likes of maybe De Jong get over the line. I reckon Ten Hag will be like, I like that Donny's there. Or do you think he'll be going, oh, fuck's sake, I've got to drop
You don't
him.
know that because remember
He's been texting me and everything, texting loads of smiles.
Really excited.
Yeah, Donny's
Can't wait
so
to, but 14 emojis at the end
Yeah.
of it. Can't wait to have you in.
Yeah, and then Ten Hag just replies, you too.
Yeah. Do you remember
Okay,
Van
same.
Gaal? Van Gaal with Van Persie got to the World Cup. Was it the semis or the?
Oh,
final?
Van Persie's absolutely pulling his pud over him.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's his
trust me,
captain
we're going to
for
win the league
Holland and all
next
that.
year.
Well,
Trust me.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, and it's like he gets to United and he's training with the reserves. Van Gaal's like, you can go and train over there, and he's like, what? What do you mean? Why? He goes, you know, go on.
Making a
Yeah,
point.
Van Gaal, Ten Hag's going to come in and he's like, Donny, come here.
Yeah.
Go and tell Hannibal he's in the first 11.
And while you're at it, I'll have a tea, 2 sugars. Go on, hurry up. You don't know, do you?
No.
It's like you just like presumably you'd think they would have a decent relationship and he would want to give him another chance. I'm sure you're going to.
Maybe he'll do that though. What is it, Cain and Abel? Who is it where he has to kill his son in the Bible?
Well, Cain killed Abel, didn't he? What?
Abraham, that's it.
Yeah.
He had to prove to God. I reckon there might be a chance where Ten Hag's like, Donny, come here. And he just fucking gives it, like, to show everyone else. You thought he was my mate? Let that be a lesson to the rest of you. You cross me for a second, and you'll be like him as Donny gets dragged away, lifeless. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it would be a bit of a.
Sometimes what I'm saying is you've got to make a
one of our
point.
players on the first day of training.
So it'd be
Always
different.
murder
Yeah.
one.
Be different.
Yeah, that's
That's
one way
the rule,
to
you've got to murder one.
Be remembered.
Is that like the
forever.
5 and drive rule?
Yeah, show people that you're willing to murder, and then they won't cross you. Do you know what I mean? He said, I hope that's the last one I have to do that to. That's what he says.
I hope he just gives him a bit of a talking to.
Players on the phone like,
All
is that my
that.
agent?
Yeah. Okay, you do it your way, do it your
Gaffer's
my
just
way.
fucking killed one of the lads.
Yeah.
I didn't think you could do that. You can't do that. Okay.
Okay.
So he's getting a sack then.
No, we'll just
Train
say
by
it was,
3 o'clock.
We'll
Okay.
just say it was
Don't
lightning.
forget that. Marcus is from Wivenshaw. Marcus is like, yeah, what am I doing now? Snitches get stitches. What's wrong with you?
Why on the phone?
Yeah.
We've got a
Fucking
few.
join him.
We've got a few super chats. James Wood says Martial, Jones, Bailly, Axel, Pereira, Shaw, Tellers, and Wan-Bissaka can all leave for me. That's quite an extensive list. I
On
don't
top
think
of
we're not losing
the
three
half dozen have
fullbacks.
already gone.
Yeah.
We're not losing 3 fullbacks, so
There's going to be like fucking Jadon Sancho walk back into that massive first team dressing room that we've got at Carrington. What the fuck is that on?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Am I on
just
the
you,
wrong
Jadon.
day? Am I on the wrong day? No, training starts today, Jadon.
Yeah. Just me?
What are you smiling at?
Abhinav Verma says Martial isn't injury prone, he just refuses to play. It might be both. And Zachary Purvis with a super chat says, not to ruin the mood, but my PTSD came close to taking me away from my family and friends this past week. Thank you a lot for helping keep my mind occupied over the last few years over the fucking paddock. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Zachary, as well. I know it's your name a lot in the chats and stuff, so I hope you're okay. And thanks for all your support as well. We do appreciate it. I mean, the thing with half them players you mentioned, only some of them will have any resale value. Like, you ain't getting any money for Phil Jones. I'm not just hating on the guy. You ain't.
Cut and run job, innit?
Yeah. Like, Eric Bailly, you might get a few quid for. Wan-Bissaka, you might. Anthony Martial, you might. The problem is, they're all on stupid wages, and they've all had such horrible seasons that their value is massively decreased. So, while we were sat here about 6 months ago, I remember Macca saying he could go out on loan to Newcastle, Martial, smash it, and we could get 50 million for him, maybe even 60. And he's gone to Sevilla, scored no goals in La Liga, absolutely had a stinker, and now you'd be lucky to get 25 million for him.
That has happened.
Yeah.
Pereira, what, 5'10"?
Flamengo giving us 50 million.
Did you see what our scouts did?
What, quit?
No.
Right.
We've got scouts out in Brazil, and guess who they found?
Yeah, no, that's a bit disingenuous, though, because they didn't find him. They said he was the best player. And the Daily Mail twisted it to go, United scouts go to watch a team in Brazil and say Pereira's the player to get, which wasn't quite true.
They're probably using that to say there's nothing here.
Yeah,
Pereira's
they
the best player.
You know, it's like Fergie when he said that Thiago wasn't as good as Tom Cleverley or was just the same as Tom Cleverley. It's that kind of thing. It's in his book. So he wrote that.
All right, well, which one of the two's won the Premier League? Fucking, I know.
Tom Cleverley never lost 6 games on the spin at Anfield.
I don't think Thiago's won.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, he hasn't. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because he's not as good as Bradford's finest.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Interesting.
Exactly.
Is he from Bradford?
Who, Tom Cleverley? Yeah.
Never heard him.
No.
It's rate good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting, that.
There was such high hopes.
You ever been to Bradford?
I
haven't.
No, I've heard about
Frequently.
it. Never been.
You've heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Rugby league hotbed.
Oh,
Made
God,
myself
here
a
we go.
debut actually at Odsal.
There you go.
How did you get on?
Twatted. Bradford were massive and all over the gear at the time. Fucking
See, I hadn't got on the steroids at that point.
With all that being said, who's your Wally of the week?
This week.
This
a good
week.
question,
Yeah.
that.
Sifting through the many multitudes of people it
I've
could
really
be.
even noticed a lot of fucking Wallyisms this week.
I don't want to go into any details on this because obviously it's something would is you shouldn't be talking about with it being an ongoing thing. But whoever it is on social media that thinks that every week or so spreading a rumour about a certain Manchester United player saying that there's been some updates that there hasn't been, that then gets people having a go at the wrong sort of person in response to it and welcoming and then causing arguments. If you're spreading fake rumours about United players rejoining the squad or whatever it is, fuck off.
Let me
do that.
With the whole Mason Greenwood thing, people that know more about the law than I'll ever know have sort of said, while it's ongoing,
Can't talk about it.
leave it
Yeah.
alone. So we said that as a channel, and we continue to say that because one way or the other, either way, no matter what we don't want to do is jeopardise any sort of investigation by being a gobshite.
Yes.
So once it's done, we can all have our comments, and we will.
Yeah.
But until that day, we're just leaving it, and because that's what a lot of people who know about the law have advised to do. But that doesn't stop certain people on Twitter
Gobshites on
having
Twitter are
to-
going to be gobshites on Twitter.
Yeah, but there's one in particular that's got 30,000 likes
Yeah.
saying, announcing an update on his future. It's not true, it's bullshit, and it's not the sort of thing you should be spreading fake rumours about either.
With
It's just
spelling
an
mistakes as
absolute
well
lie.
in the
Yeah.
tweet.
So people spreading shit about that
Yeah,
sort of
it's
thing.
just,
can
it's
fuck
not
off.
helpful.
No, it's
and I
not.
think that regardless of what your views on Mason Greenwood, I think from us as a channel anyway, I mean, everyone's entitled to do what they want to do. I just saw people that I respect who know about the law just saying, listen, it's ongoing, just leave
Yeah.
it until it's dealt with. So,
And then
no,
move
that's a
on.
fair one. Who's your Wally of the week?
I had someone in mind, but I've fucking lost it now.
Anyone from Soccer Aid? Did you watch Soccer Aid?
Nope. I only found out Robbie Williams it was his thing like yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't watch it. Like I had no idea.
You
I
thought
went to
Soccer Aid
watch
was
it
a
once.
fizzy drink until yesterday, didn't you?
Good,
that one.
Nice,
that one.
nice.
That's a
Yeah,
2-week
No, I just thought about that.
bollocks.
Just thought about that one.
I remember that's the only time I got to watch Diego Maradona.
Is it?
And he
Was he playing soccer aid?
He scored a penalty against Jamie Theakston. I remember.
Sounds like a lie. That sounds like a lie.
We need to get you the Would I Lie to You cards. I remember he was
I've best after this weekend.
Yeah, he was getting booed.
Oh, you got something coming, you lot.
He was getting booed by the crowd, and our kid, he was, this was about 10 years ago, he's in his early 20s, whatever, started kicking off with everyone. Like, booing Maradona for. I thought it is a bit sad, isn't it? Because we're still hanging on to that old hand of God thing. He's one of the greatest players ever, and you're getting to watch him.
Don't want him to score against Jamie Theakston, though.
No, that broke my heart. So
it's mad, innit, soccer aid?
Yeah, it is.
Like, fully fucking mad. I was like, oh, that's Cafu.
Yeah.
Was it soccer aid where
and
Rooney?
Jonathan Wilkes.
Yeah. Was it soccer aid where Rooney?
Like, who scored the other day? Like, I don't even know who he is.
There's a singer in it. I don't know who he is though.
I saw Lee Mack score a penalty.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to know.
It's fucking bonkers. It's legitimate bonkers.
Yeah.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Was it-
We got all the balls from last year because it's Puma. We got all the balls from last year's soccer aid. So
Really?
we trained with them all this year.
Was it soccer aid where Rooney played and took it very seriously? And was berating the
I
ref?
have no idea.
Has anyone still got a smear of Ollie Murs on it from the game? Because you could probably sell that for a lot of money.
I think they were brand new that weren't used.
So when Jose fouled him.
That was great.
Yeah.
Can I add another person to Ollie?
You can do. I'm
Yeah, I've
just
not even got
stack it
one,
out.
so do it.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp. Do you remember that quote? So it's been doing the rounds on Twitter, talking about when United signed Pogba and spending 100 million euros on a player. He said, "The day that this is football, I'm not in a job anymore." Fast forward a few years, Liverpool signed Darwin Núñez for
It's almost
80
as if
million
Jurgen
euros.
Klopp's a complete hypocrite who says the opposite of what he goes and does.
And have you seen some of the add-ons for that, by the way?
No,
So it's 80 million plus 20 million in add-ons because they didn't want it to be more than that, right?
Right.
One of them is play 10 games, 5 million euros. Play 60 games.
Turn up for work.
Play 60 games, 10 million euros. Basically, over the next 2 years, it is guaranteed they pay 95 million of those euros. They just didn't want to say they were spending 100 million just because they wanted to look like, they wanted to look better. Play 10 games, 5 million euros.
Right, that's ridiculous. Just admit it. Just say it with your chest out. We're spending 100 million euros on a player, and what?
They didn't want to.
Do you know what I mean? Like, United did it when we were in the Champions League. So there's nothing wrong with doing it at all.
Yeah, they basically went, how much we're in
acting
for
all
then? 100
holy
million,
now is
but
just
can
boring.
we say it was 80 plus add-ons?
Who was it? Was it Dennis Law or Dennis Violet that Busby did that with? It was 30 grand and he paid 200. 29.
Yeah, I think Violet.
Was it Violet? Because he didn't want him to be the 30 grand.
Or Tommy
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, it was one player, wasn't it? And get involved in the comments, you know it is.
So Busby was pretty principled on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he was like So a lot of people don't actually know this or remember or too young to even know this, but one of the greatest players that's ever played the game, let alone played for Manchester United, Brian Robson. Right? I know you know what's coming. He was bought for £1 million with Remy Moses as well as part of the deal from West Brom, right? Because that was £1 million, and Busby went, should never pay £1 million for players. He resigned as president of Manchester United on the back of us signing Brian Robson. Now, with hindsight, what Brian Robson went on to achieve, almost incomprehensibly successful signing. Isn't it mad that we lost Sir Matt Busby as president of the club over the money involved in that transfer?
It is, but like you said, I always say this with great managers like Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson. It's that stubbornness almost, that focus of your principles, what you believe is right, unwavering belief in yourself.
When you look at what,
regardless of what
Robbo was versus the percentage of turnover, I think Dennis Law, Robbo,
Rio Ferdinand.
I'm not sure if it was Rio.
Oh. It was like 40% or something.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was like your percentage of turnover to the cost of that transfer at the time. Like Robbo and Dennis Law were like, what? It's the equivalent of United signing like a £300 million player now.
And also, let's not forget, Robbo, we all love and was arguably the greatest player I've ever seen in my life, did have 2 broken legs under his on his resume. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like you're buying a player who has missed, I think, 2 seasons out of the last 5. Or
the tempo of his voice doesn't match up to the tempo of his game, though, does it? It's mad.
He's such the nicest
such
guy.
a leader.
He is the nicest guy.
Such a driving force. Like Roy Keane has got an aggressive kind of voice. Like you can see Roy Keane going, but Robbo's like such a relaxed, sort of nice. Like you want him to read you a bedtime story, not fucking get you in an headlock or by the throat. Like, but that's clearly what it was about. And hard as a coffin nail.
We are getting him on the brew as well. That's in the pipeline. Don't worry about that. Have you got a Wally of the Week?
Can't think. Come on.
I'll go with... Who's right? you know what? I don't want to give him attention. I'll go with Aaron Banks. Don't want to make it political, but lost his court case and now he's whinging about how the judge got it wrong. Just deal with it, you absolute snowflake.
Do you think more libel cases in the pipeline? Stay tuned.
Do you think Remy Moses goes around saying, how much did United pay for you? That was part of £1 million transfer.
I think Remy Moses says whatever he wants to anyone he wants because he was nails.
Who's harder, Remy Moses or Brian Robson?
Remy had the sort of like.
Remy's the one that Jesper Olsen, he's the one that ended that one as well.
Is that the hardest transfer of all time?
Yeah. Buying them two is like.
It's like buying a door staff.
Yeah, that is just.
They came with a little thing
bought security firms. Like,
what's that? That is our new midfield.
I think Chucky was telling me they played Wimbledon before the FA Cup final, and Vinny went through Remy Moses, and he said it's the only time he's seen Vinny Jones shit himself and apologise. Because he thought if Remy Moses gets up now and snaps my jaw, I will not be playing in the cup final next week, whenever it was.
Superb.
I love that.
Right, so we've all done our Wally of the Week.
Yeah.
Yes, you've done 2, which is good. Good work.
Extras.
You get extra points for that. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Make sure you're checking out what video have you got coming up. Thanks
Good
for
stuff, love
that.
that.
Make sure you're checking out his Donny van der Beek video as well. Big thanks to Manscaped. It was Devils20 and using the code. You get 20% off, free shipping as well. The link is in the description. That's been Stephen Howson. That's been Joe Smith. I've been Jay Moy. This has been the Paddock Podcast. Thanks for watching.